Good morning, students. Today we are going to see square numbers and square root from chapter 1 numbers. First we will see what is square numbers. For that we are considering this square. It is given as 1 unit as side. We know that to find the area of the square, we will multiply a side into side. Here the side is given as 1 unit. That is, the area of the square can be written as 1 into 1. From the second picture, the side of the square is given as 2 units and its area can be written as 2 into 2. Similarly, from the third figure, the square of the side is given as 3 units and this can be written as 3 into 3. This 1 into 1, we can write it as 1 power 2. Same way, 2 into 2, we can write it as 2 power 2 and 3 into 3 can be write it as 3 power 2. The top of this 2 stands for squared and it indicates the number of times the number appears. We can read it as 1 square. Here we can read it as 2 square, 3 square and it goes on. And the product we are getting when we multiply the number by itself, that is 1 into 1, we will get the product as 1 and 2 into 2, we will get the product as 4. And 3 into 3, we will get the product as 9. Similarly, it goes on. That is 4 into 4, we will get the product as 16. 5 into 5, we will get the product as 25. These product numbers, that is 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 are all square numbers, or we call it as perfect square numbers. That is, a number is multiplied by itself, then the product is square numbers. Here are some of the properties of square numbers. First property, the square numbers ends in 0, 1, 4, 5, 6 or 9 only. The other numbers, if it ends with 2, 3, 7 and 8, it's not a perfect square number. The next property, if the number ends with 1 or 9, then the square ends with 1. For example, if you take the number as 9, if we found the squares, that is 9 into 9, we will get the product as 81. Here it ends with the number 1. Same way, if the number ends with 2 or 8, the square number will ends with 4. For example, if you multiplied 8, to find 8 as a square, 8 for squares, 8 into 8 we get 64. The number ends with 4. Same way, the number ends with 7. The square number will end with 9. For the number ends with 4 or 6, the square number will end with 6. For the number ends with 5 or 0, it will ends with 0 or 5. The last property is the number ends with 2, 3, 7 and 8 are not perfect square numbers. I'm once again saying a number is multiplied by itself. The product is a square number. Next we are going to see is a square root. Squaring a number is a mathematical operations as addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. For each mathematical operations, we will have an inverse. For example, subtraction is the inverse of addition. Division is the inverse of multiplication. Same way, square root is the inverse of squaring. And it is denoted by the symbol root. This symbol is root. The square root of a number n can be written as square root of n. N is any number. Square root of n or n to the power of 1 by 2. The value of this root is power 1 by 2. Example, to find the square root of 81, first you have to write the 81 as a square of numbers. That is, 81 can be written as 9 into 9. It can be written as 9 square. If we take the square root for 81, then you have to take the square root for 9 square also. When you are taking the square roots, the square will remove and we will get the answer as 9. For that, we know the another form of the root is the 9 square. The another form of the root is 1 by 2. If you multiply these two, we will get cancel and we get the answer as 9. The same way, second example, square root of 334. 334 can be written as the squares of 18 into 18. 18 into 18 can be written as 18 square. Then after writing in the squares form, we can take the square root for both the sides. That is square root of 332 equal to square root of 18 square. When you are taking the square root, the squares will remove and we will get the answer as 18. Now we will see some exercise sums from 1.4. Third sum, find the square of the following numbers. To find the square of the following numbers, you have to multiply the given numbers by 2 times. That is, to find the square of 17, you have to multiply this 17 as 2 times. Square of 17 can be written as 17 square, which can be written as 17 into 17. You have to multiply it and write the answer as 289. Same way, 203 is the next sum given. To find the square of 203, 203 is 203 square. For 3 square, you have to multiply the same number by 2 times. That is 203 into 203. We will get the answer as 41,209. Now we will see the next sum. Examine if each of the following is a perfect square. They had given 4 sums. You have to say whether the given number is a perfect square or not a perfect square. For that, you have to find the prime factorization for the given number and you have to write it the factors in squares. If it is have the squares, then we can say that as a perfect number. If they are not having the pair of squares, then we can say it is not a perfect square. Now see the first sum, 725. For 725, the prime factors are 5 into 5 into 29. This 5 into 5 can be written as 5 square. And for 29, we are not having the pair of squares. That is, we are having only 29. So, 725 is not a perfect square. Next sum is 841. 841 can be written as the prime factors of 29 into 29. This 29 into 29 can be written as 29 square. No other numbers are here without the squares. Therefore, we can say 841 is a perfect square. Like that, you have to do it for the other 2 sums. Now see the fifth sum. Find the square root by prime factorization method. Here also we are going to use the prime factorization method to find the square root of the given numbers. In that they had given 6 sums. From that, third one, 784. For this 784, you have to find out the square root of 784. Before finding the square root, you have to find the prime factors for 784. The prime factors of 784 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 7 into 7. After finding the prime factors, you have to write the given factors in squares form. That is, this 2 into 2, we can write it as 2 square. And next to 2 into 2, write it as 2 square. And 7 into 7, we are write it as 7 square. Since all the 3 numbers, we are having the squares, we are taking the square as common. We get 2 into 7 whole square. After writing 784 in the square form, now you have to take the square root. That is, square root of 784 equal to square root of 2 into 7 the whole square. If we are removing the square root, the square is also removed. Then we get 2 into 7, that is, which is equal to 28. That is, square root of 784 is 28. Next sum, 4761. First, for 4761, first you have to find the prime factors. We will get the prime factors as 3 into 23 into 23. After writing the prime factors, you have to write the prime factors as square. Here, this 3 into 3 can be written as 3 square. And this 23 into 23, we can write it as 23 square. Then we are taking the square as common. We get 3 into 23 the whole square. Now we had written 4761 as 3 into 23 whole square. After this, we are going to find out the square root. For that, we are taking the square root on both the sides. That is, square root of 4761 is equal to square root of 3 into 23 the whole square. When you are removing this square root, the square will also removed, leaving the number 3 into 23. Then multiply it and write the answer as 69. That is, the square root of 4761 is 69. The next sum is the another method for finding the square root, that is long division method. Here also they are given 4 sums. Let me take the second sum, 6889. To find the square root by long division method, the first step you have to follow is you have to group the digits, two digits from your right hand side. That is 6889 from right hand side. The first two digits, that is 9 and 8 as one group and 8 and 6 as another group. Like that you have to group the digits. After grouping the digits, you have to do the long division. 68 one group, 89 we are splitting it and write it as in two groups. First you have to take the 60. In normal division we will take a single number. For in square root we have to take two numbers. For that we are taking 68. 68 is the square, is not a square number, but the maximum square number we can get is 8 into 8. That is 8 8s are 64. Subtracting it, we will get the answer as 4. After subtracting it, you have to bring down the next two numbers. That is, we are grouping 8 and 9 as one group. You have to bring down these two numbers. We get 489. And for the quotients, I already having the quotients as 8. We are finding the square root. So, we are multiplying this 8 as 8 by 2. We will get 16. With this 16, you have to find which number we can have it in the next one's place. This 489, we are having 16. If you multiply it by 2, we will get the answer as 4, 12, 224. It's not 489 is not equal to this one. Then again 16, when we multiply it by 3, 3 3s are 9, 18, 489. Therefore, when we multiply it by 3, we get 489. So, we are putting 3 in this and in the quotient side also. After writing, we will get the answer as a remainder 0. Therefore, the square root of 6889 is equal to 83. Let's see one more sum. 17,956. The first step is you have to group the number of digits, two digits from the right hand side. This 17,976, when we are grouping this, 5 and 6 comes in one group and 9 and 7 comes in second group and 1 alone is in the third group. After grouping that, you have to split it and write in division form. That is 1 is one group and 79 is the second group and 56 is the third group for division. First we can take 1. This 1 is the square of 1. Therefore 1 into 1 we can write it as 1. If we subtract we get the answer 0. The next step you have to bring the next two numbers down. That is 79. 79. We are having the quotient as 1. This 1 you have to multiply it by 2. We get 2. After multiplying by 2, then you have to find out the quotient of a second group. For that, we are multiplying it by 3. We get 23 into 3 as 69. Then you have to subtract it. We get the remainder as 10. After subtracting, we are moving the third group to the down. We get 1056. Then now the quotient is 13. You have to multiply this 13 by 2. We will get it as 26. With this 26, we have to find the next quotient. For that, we are multiplying it by 4. We will get the answer as 1056. Therefore, the square root of, leaving the remainder 0. Therefore, the square root of 17,956 is equal to 134. Like that, you have to do the other two sums. Then seventh one, estimate the value of the following square roots to the nearest whole number. Here the given numbers are not a perfect square. You have to find out the nearest square for the number. Here first one is square root of 440. For this you have to find out the nearest square root. We can say that the 20 square can be written as 400 and 21 square can be written as 441. For 440, this 441 is the nearest number. Therefore, we can write the square root of 440 is approximately equal to 21. This symbol is represented as approximately equal to. Then for third sum for 800, we have square of 28 square as 784 and 29 square as 841. 800 here is nearer to 784, which is the square of 28. Therefore, the square root of 800 is approximately equal to 28. The third sum also for square root of 1020. We can take these two squares, that is 31 square and 32 square. 31 square can be written as 961 and 32 square can be written as 1024. But 1020 is nearer to 1024. Therefore, we can take the answer as square root of 1020 is approximately equal to 32. Let's see the another sum. Find the square root of the following decimal numbers and fraction. Here we are going to find out the square root for decimal and fraction. First, they had given the decimal number, that is 2.89. To find the square root of 2.89, first you have to remove the decimal. For that, since it has two decimal places, so we are dividing it by 100. Removing the decimal place and we are dividing it by 100. That is 289 by 100. This 289 is the square of 17. That is 17 into 17 by 100 is the square of 10. 10 into 10. That is 17 square by 10 square. After writing the decimal number as a square number, now we can take the square root for both the sides. We get square root of 2.89, which is equal to square root of 17 square by 10 square. When you are taking the square root, the squares also removed. Then we will get the answer as 17 by 10. And since the question is in decimal form, you have to write the answer also in decimal form. That is 17 by 10 can be written as 1.7. Let's see the next sum, 67.24. Here also they had given as decimal. In the same way, you can remove the decimal and convert it into the square number and you can take the square root. Or you can directly use the long division method to find the square root of the decimal numbers. Here 67.24. First we are taking this 67. 67 as the nearly a 8 square. That is 8 into 8, 64. When we are subtracting, we get 3. And we are bringing down the next two numbers, 24. That is 324. For 324, the quotient will be, since the first quotient is 8, to find the second quotient, you have to multiply this 8 by 2. We will get 16. To get 324, you have to multiply it by 2. That is 16 into 2. We get 324 with the remainder 0. Therefore, square root of 67.24 is equal to 8.2. And the fourth sum is given as a fraction. That is 144 divided by 21. This fraction, we can convert it into a square number and then we can take the square root on both sides. We will get the answer. For that, 144 by 221 can be written as 12 into 12 by 21 into 21, which can be written as 12 square by 21 square. After writing it in the square form, you have to take the square root on both sides. We get square root of 144 by 21 equal to 12 by 21. The one more sum we will see. It's also in the fraction form, but it is in the mixed fraction. If it is given in the mixed fraction, first you have to convert it into the improper fraction. Then you have to write it as a square numbers. Then after that you have to take the square root on both sides. We will get the answer. For that, the square root of 18 by 29 is, we get the answer as 19 by 7. Thank you.